Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty, episode 1. We open with Magic Johnson supposedly getting the news of his diagnosis, which we don't actually see. But we see him in the car visibly upset with his homeboy next to him crying.
Nigga, I thought that was his agent. And first of all, I was looking at that like, bro, first of all, you stupid. Because Magic Johnson made more money outside of the NBA than he could have ever possibly made in his era playing professional basketball.
Facts.
So his career, his earnings were far from over. But I guess I could understand the shock of what he was feeling, because at that time didn't nobody know nothing about it, and he was probably like the biggest star to him, like his hero. Yeah. Like, damn, my favorite basketball player is gonna die. That's probably what he was thinking.
And now 30 years later,
going strong,
still here. Jerry Buss is in his bed talking to himself about how sexy basketball is. Unbeknownst to us, Jerry Buss is at the Playboy Mansion. Definitely wasn't aware of the lifestyle that Jerry Buss was living during that time.
Yeah, I guess I can envision it for sure. I've always seen a guy with the hair, everybody knows Dr. Buss, and, he was the guy who brought the Laker girls and, the whole Showtime era, celebrities in the front row. So I guess I could see that, but that is not what I envisioned at all.
I would agree.
Not even close.
Apparently, the Lakers, being that they were mostly black, weren't a big hit in LA at the time, which I also wasn't aware of. I wasn't aware that them being mostly black was the reason that they weren't such a huge hit. The way that they're telling the story is very inclusive about like all of the details, which is why like a series was probably the better way to go as opposed
to a movie. Yeah. This would have been a lot to take in a movie form. First of all, it would have had to been like 4 hours long.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I'm glad we got a series as opposed to,
Jerry has a conversation with his daughter, Jeannie Buss, about who they should pick. Shout out to
Jeannie.
Jeannie points out that it's a trick question because Larry Bird is with the Celtics. Jerry points out that it's because they saw white and he doesn't care whether the person is black, white, polka
that
dot.
Shit was fucking hilarious. The clean cut, American bred, honest, white. The show stopping, flashy,
black.
I've been doing that all week, fam. Anytime I've been on TV and somebody is described as clean cut or something like that, I'm like white. Like, oh yeah, he's a showstopper, black.
David Stern hosts the coin toss for the first pick between the Bulls and the Lakers. The Lakers win.
Is that who that was supposed to be?
Yeah, they said David Stern. Yep.
Gross.
So he hosts the coin toss for the first pick between the Bulls and the Lakers. The Lakers obviously win. Magic and his family are celebrating, and then him and his wife, or his future wife, Cookie, have a conversation about her not wanting to leave with him, which I thought was kind of crazy.
Yeah, all right,
That's also
Cookie.
something I didn't know.
Yeah, all right, Cookie. Playing the fuck out of crazy.
Yeah.
All right, Cookie. She didn't want to be the girl that just rides along with Magic's coattails for her to eventually be dropped off at some point. She didn't want that, so it had to happen the way it did for them to actually, have the marriage that they did have.
Yeah. Yep. Apparently, Jerry West is the man that they're throwing under the bus in this series.
Dog, oh my God. Hands down, funniest part of the entire series is Jerry West's white rage. I swear to God, that
quite
is
a bit of white
grade A. That actor, he's actually a pretty good actor. I've seen him in a lot of movies. I didn't know he could do comedy. I did not know he could be funny. He is fucking hilarious.
Agreed.
I've never been happy. God fucking cocksucking billboards don't win basketball games.
Him taking the MVP award and just throwing it at the locker was nuts.
God damn it. Played so good in the last one that they gave him the MVP. Still lost though. Woo-wee. You know why he's getting it like that? Is because Jerry West has been fucking terrible to the Lakers ever since he left the organization. It's just a fact. And all of this shit is coming out now because, well, you're not under the umbrella anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you came out, you saying all this stuff about the organization, about Jeannie, about Magic, and all of that stuff. It's like, you kind of put yourselves at odds with the conglomerate. And who has a film or a series coming out to document or and to chronicle your events in your time at the Lakers organization. So if you ever fucked around and said to Jerry Buss or anybody in the Lakers organization at the time that, oh, we can't draft Magic Johnson because he's soft and smiles too much, or he's too big. It takes twice as long for the ball to get to the fucking ground because he's 6'9". Come on, bro. They even made him they made his silhouette the logo of the league. You think that made me happy? Jerry West and the man playing Jerry West in this series is fucking hilarious. It's been my favorite part.
Agreed. Apparently, Jerry West ain't the only one upset about drafting Magic.
Pussy ass Norm Nixon.
Current starting point guard for the Lakers, Norm Nixon.
Listen, man. Stormin' Norman Nixon was a man back in his day. But how? It just goes to show you, man, like with veterans, like how we made the video earlier this week about veteran players talking about younger players. Make sure you go like that. I'm sure we'll have it in the description. But similar to that, it's like be a elder statesman of your league. Nurture young players to come in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't got to be every young player. You don't got to go OD like LeBron where you everybody's big brother all of a sudden. But like, be a nurturer to the guys that you know are going to be players. Mm-hmm. Bring them along. Make sure they know what it is to be great. Don't just shit on them, because then you might end up looking like Norm Nixon in this series 40 some odd years later. Looking like an absolute moron, getting a pedicure and being sensitive about the women in the shop making fun of you. Like, fam, again, Norm Nixon, great player in his right. Not in the same universe as Magic Johnson as a player. Not even close. Yep. And the fact that you had to catch him when he was a young buck, hadn't even been drafted yet, at an all-white party, wearing loafers, damn near had a leisure suit on, but you had to try to take his confidence from him then.
Emasculate him.
Yeah, like, bruh. First of all, this is not basketball.
And call him slow.
Was the perception of Michigan that it was just country back then? Is that what Michigan was? When I thought of old school Michigan, I thought of like car factories but I guess that's Detroit, huh? That's not.
I was gonna say he's not from Detroit. Yeah, he's from Lansing.
Yeah, I don't know anything about old gross ass Lansing, Michigan.
Kareem is acting in an airplane, and he's trying to project his inner warmth because his ex-wife Cheryl told him to. That's when the kid he did the scene with asks for a pic, and he tells him to fuck off. Which is apparently Kareem's fucking favorite thing to tell everybody.
Fuck off, kid. I remember that scene from Airplane. I was talking to T about it while we was watching it, and I was like, I thought that shit was hilarious when I first seen it.
Yeah.
You tried dragging Lambeer's big ass down the court. Can we, I wanted to talk to you about Jerry West and Jeannie, right? Because another person who's getting hammered in the face on this series, at least so far, I haven't seen the second episode because somehow HBO Max thinks it's a good idea to have a show that's on a streaming service released at a certain time on a day. Basically delay, for us, because we record on Sundays, is going to delay our reviews by a week. But hey, that's how HBO wants it, so thank them. Somebody else who's getting kicked in the face so far, the first owner after Dr. Buss passed away, R.I.P. You know what I'm saying? I haven't even seen that little nigga pop up.
Yeah.
Where the hell is Jim Buss, little Jerry Jr.? I don't even know if that's his name. But Jim, where is Jim? Because according to the Lakers lore, and all the, the media stuff that was going on at that time when they had their rift, Jerry always wanted his son to take over. He always wanted his son to lead the franchise. That ain't the story we telling.
At all.
It looked like he always knew it was going to be Jeannie.
Yeah.
They kicking Jim Buss in the teeth.
Working for the organization.
They kicking Jerry West in the teeth. I love it. It's so funny. It's hilarious.
So Magic and his dad are having a hell of a time trying to relate to Jack Cook, the previous owner of the Lakers, while easily relating to Jerry Buss because he's just infinitely more likable.
Yeah, I don't even know who that guy is. But apparently he was a big deal back in the day.
He apparently owned some other LA teams like the Kings, the hockey team. I don't know if he owned any of the baseball teams.
And apparently his divorce was legendary at the time. One of the biggest settlements ever. So just all around, not a very likable guy. Too uptight, too authoritative.
Too rich, too white.
Too privileged. Yeah.
White.
He was just like very, and then even with the sit down, the initial one, right, where he told old girl to open up her fucking shirt. Maybe you won't realize. The 80s was a wild time, boy. You could say and do whatever. That Especially is crazy. In LA. That is absolutely nuts. Hey, open up your shirt. Show a little tit. Let's make it happen. Like, God damn.
Magic, who knows his worth, says he wants $600K. Kareem just got $650, and Magic wants to be able to finish getting his degree at Michigan State.
You can pay for your own school, boy, like I did. Hey, nigga. Hey. See, his father, he had composure. He didn't put his hands all over that white man.
He did not.
Who is your boy? Maybe you confused. I wanted to knock you back into reality because you was hallucinating. You thought that your child was in here somewhere. Had to get you back here.
And then Jerry Buss says, we're all boys.
But see, that's something I can see already is part of his character. Is like he was a guy, he was a good mesh, right? Like it's always somebody in the group that kind of blends everybody together, all the different personalities. Yeah. That's what Jerry Buss was. I can see that already. Like John C. Reilly is doing a great job of fleshing that character out because he's just so likable. Yeah. Like you cannot be mad at this guy. You can't be aggressive around him. He's not going to allow there to be bad air in the room. Like he fills it up with positivity.
And it's funny that you mentioned that because when we were talking about it originally, you were kind of concerned about John C. Reilly playing him because he's known more for his comedic roles.
So, but then they also have kind of, I think, tempered the storyline to fit that comedic tone. Like some of the best things about this show is very comedic.
Completely, everything is for laughs. It's a comedy.
They're telling a story, and there's definitely times where it gets serious. I think for the most parts, though, it's very lighthearted.
Yes, I would agree.
It's very lighthearted.
So there's an obvious tone that's set here, but it's not like Step Brothers. Everything in Step Brothers.
No, it's not slapstick comedy.
Yeah,
it hasn't gotten to that point. Only a few times did it look very like. Only the Jerry West scenes.
It's like if you had
fucking #1 loser award. I didn't know that's how he actually felt about his career.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Jerry West is a beast.
He's the logo.
But he's literally the logo of the league. But
fuck the logo too.
The fact that he never got one really haunts him.
Yeah.
'Cause damn.
Yeah. But no, I think this show is almost like Wolf of Wall Street meets Step Brothers almost.
Sure. There you go. I would say the tone is definitely Wolf of Wall Street for this, for sure.
Yeah. We get a real tense discussion between Magic and his father. His dad is upset that he didn't take the $400K deal, which is in his hand currently, and try to go for more, which is not obviously a promised deal. Magic's dad has sacrificed a lot for his son to make it this far, and he doesn't want him pissing away the deal. A conversation that only a black family would have.
Or just a poor family.
Yeah.
Because I think I understood every part of that argument. I understand where his dad is coming from because it's like, don't come out here and fuck around with these people because he's literally, we in the meeting with him and he's calling you a boy. He don't want to give you nothing. So I get that. And I also get the fact that he works every night, works his finger to the bone to put food on your plate just for you to come out here and play games with this money that's going to change all of our lives.
Yeah. Yep.
I identified a little bit more with Earvin, though. You know what I mean? Larry Bird just got paid $6. I'm better than Larry Bird. At least pay me what he's making. Yeah. I'm not the captain, so maybe $650 is a little steep for you right now. but I will be the face of this franchise. So
we'll
pay me like I'm the face of the franchise.
well.
Right. So it's a risk on everybody's end because Magic is Earvin. He's risking a lot. The franchise is risking a lot. You taking a risk with Larry Bird. You taking a risk with Sam Bowie, Michael Jordan. Anybody that you draft, it's always going to be a risk.
Yeah.
But you saw Larry and Magic go head to head in the national championship game. You seen the two best players in this draft go head to head. You seen what the result was.
Mm-hmm.
So at very least, if you know Boston, the team that's been kicking your ass perpetually, if they paying Larry Bird $600,000, you should pay the player that whooped his ass at least that.
Agreed. Magic gets absolutely embarrassed in a game of one-on-one against Norm Nixon and then told to go back to college. After briefly considering going back home to Lansing to give college another year, Jerry Buss pretends to get lost in the forum, to which Magic slips away, sees his jersey in the locker room, and then gets on the floor and decides to become a Laker.
When the fuck did he put that jersey in there?
That is a good question.
When the fuck did he put that jersey in there?
That's a really
Them
good
niggas
question.
walked out of his office and started walking around the building and was like, oh, man, I got lost. I'll be right back. And then he walked straight into a locker room where his jersey is already hanging. Like, either he had the confidence and knew that Magic was going to sign and already had it in there, or the whole thing was a made-up story, you know. But
either one of those things are very likely.
like, I love the story either way. It's like Magic Johnson and the Lakers is like the perfect storm. It's the perfect story. It literally, it's how people gravitate towards LeBron's story today, coming out of Akron, playing at St. V, getting to the Cavs, you know what I'm saying? Going to Miami, coming back to Cleveland, winning the championship, that kind of storybook. That was Magic Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Small town kid, played in East Lansing, you know, for Michigan State, a hard-nosed Midwestern city. Makes it to the Lakers only to be the greatest show on hardwood. It's just a very good story. So like tidbits like that, it just adds to the legend.
Magic signs for $500,000. Jerry West is pissed and throws his award out the window. And Dr. Buss now owns the team.
It's so funny because I can see it. I've heard Jerry West bitching about the Lakers before, and he just sounds like an old bitter man. Yeah. So it makes so much sense that's what
that's what he's
it's
like.
Funny, man. It's so funny. It is so funny. The crap he has given the Lakers brass for basically just not exalting him enough. I don't know what else the league, the world is supposed to do for the honorable Jerry West to make you feel better about the fact that you never won a chip. You don't see Wilt acting like this. He lost to Bill Russell 9 times, fam.
Yeah.
Lost to Bill Russell, the same guy. At least there was some variation in them Celtics teams that you lost to. He lost to Bill Russell every single year for a decade. I think he got 1.
Yeah. That sounds all right.
I think he got 1. You over here complaining. You only lost 6 times, bro. Relax.
Any other thoughts on that first episode?
Nah, man. Good start. I'm definitely excited to watch episode 2 tonight at 9:00 because this is fucking network television. I guess I'm watching Grey's Anatomy.
Basically.
Come on, HBO. Come the hell on. Like, honestly, it's between this and the whole fiasco with the simultaneous release. I was actually talking about this on Chill's stream on Saturday. Make sure y'all tune in Saturdays at Chillmonger's page. He does a live stream about MCU questions and, you know, some other topics. We'll see either one of us pop in and out of there every now and again. But we were talking about the streaming platforms and their interfaces, right? The overlays. And it's just like HBO Max, between the simultaneous release, kind of tanking their movies, and then, you know, just their overall, their platform. It's like slightly less than Netflix, like maybe a notch over Disney Plus and Hulu, because those are absolute trash. I like the content on Disney Plus, but the interface is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Paramount is probably the worst one.
I don't even know if I've ever used Paramount.
Yeah, get your shit together, HBO. Like, it's like, how prepared were y'all to actually launch this service? It just feels like this wasn't the when they did it in this kind of 2-year period that we've had HBO Max now. Content's fine. The content's not the problem. It's all the apparatus around it that's made it weird.
Agreed.
So, yeah, we'll be a week late because we have to release things at a certain time from streaming platforms now. Give us your thoughts.
Make sure you also subscribe. Like he said, we're going to be doing these every week. So we would love to talk about winning time with you guys. So make sure you follow.